So, hello everybody. Today I want to talk about income and time, or time and money, whatever how you want to pronounce it, how you say it, whatever. Which most people struggle with in general, though, at least in the U.S. that I'm aware of. I want to discuss about my journey so far with business-wise, as in building up my brand for music, and I want to take a deep dive into what are my struggles with income and time. So getting right into it, thank you for joining me on FM 213 off screen. I am Freddie Bryant Myers, where I talk about behind the scenes that is either music or games, and sometimes more at times. But today we're going to talk more about my music, and you guys can actually talk about down below in the comments, talk about your journey so far, what you've learned, and what your struggles are. So let's get right into it, and maybe I give you guys some pointers right here in this video and talk about what I have learned and what I am struggling with. So to start off with income wise, which my family and I don't have a lot of, it's very challenging, especially if you want to invest in your business or any sort that is already challenging enough when money is not even in the picture. What if it's like a donation nonprofit type? And the business that I'm trying to build, of course, as a musician, it doesn't require a lot of money into it, but it does add up after you deal with marketing, gear, maybe fees for venues at times, maybe not. And then last and never the least, what can be very strenuous is trying to support yourself and your family and everything else, because everything costs money, of course. So in my situation with us, since I do have a family of 5 to be specific, we don't really have a lot of money to take care of our daily needs so far. So we gotta have to try to figure out, have a game plan to figure out what we need to do in order to have that change. So for now, I'm getting a job, which I actually recorded this yesterday talking about this, like I'm getting a job. Ironically, I got a job yesterday. Right after recording, I had a phone call. So finally I got a job, and I am working in real estate as well to get my sales license, to work on that, and I want to complete that. I'm almost done. I have a couple tests need to do. And then finally I have to take the state test, and then finally I will get my license for my sales license to be really specific. And once I establish that, then the gears will change on that one. So basically, in my situation with income wise, I have to figure out how to support my family in the business I want to run. And you might question, like, okay, why would you do anything in real estate if you want to do music? Well, really, the job I'm going for is not the job I want to do forever. However, it is a job that can be career based. So what's going to be nice in this situation for myself? So I have a job that I'm going to try out. It pays well. My wife gets benefits, so I don't have to worry about benefits. That's the nice part. So I'm going to try out this job. It's pharmaceutical stuff. And I'm still going to try real estate. If I don't like real estate, I can stick with my job. And then just have maybe real estate in the back burner. I'll do it here and there. And maybe in 3 years' time, because it takes 3 years for your license to lapse. And if it does, it does. If it doesn't, if I want to keep on doing it here and there, not really worry about making a ton of money off of it, great. Would be a really big goal. The biggest thing is to have the flexibility and have the time in order to work on the music. That was actually a whole reason why I wanted to do this, because I can actually work on something I really would love to do. That was a big goal. So for me, this would work out really well. I have a spouse that will help out, and also I'm trying to do this as well. Time and money is always the biggest thing for everyone, as I learned so far. So if you're trying to pursue a dream, my recommendation, if you have a job that's very strenuous, I worked in a factory to be more specific. If you have a job that is very strenuous, as in time and energy, especially your energy, you're spending 40 plus hours, maybe you're spending 60 hours. If you can swing it and do other things like your business or whatever it is, it could be music or it could be something else. I recommend that if this job is not making you happy and you're trying to make this work, and if you have family, have your family help you out maybe and try to see if you can do some job that's more flexible hours, and then you try to be a little minimalistic so you can grow something that you want to do. And that's kind of where I'm shifting gears right here to doing that. But unfortunately, with my situation, which a lot of people's situation, I have kids to really take care of. So it has to happen in this certain way. Well, it's like I have to do the math, how much money I'm making, where I'm at, how much time I put onto this, and hopefully I can only spend 30 hours in this job. And here's the thing, though. 30 hours in this job plus real estate. I mean, then you're trying to figure out how much time you can put in music. That is a very challenging part, and so far. However, here's a few things I've learned about growing a business. So, number one thing, I would say, don't expect money. At all, don't expect money. I never expect money in the first place out of the business, but if you're pursuing a business and you're trying to grow something, you're investing your money and your time into business for probably a couple years. But it all depends on how well you do things. So that's where it kind of goes back and forth with that. And it's something that I've been wanting to talk about, being a broke musician, how it looks like to be broke and you're trying to do your best and you're like really just scraping by basically to try to make something happen. And the reason why for this whole entire video really is for me to explain where I'm at and really have you guys talk back and forth, and along with myself, with you guys where your situation is at, or down on my Discord server as well, if you rather be more private to talk about this. So it's something I want to talk about because a lot of things don't really talk about how stressful this can be, especially if you're a parent. You're not the only one, and also it's not a type of job that it's for only single person. It's not a type of job that it cannot work if you're married and have kids. That's not the case. Now, if you want to make a ton of money, music is not really the greatest place to do it, especially when there's a lot of different categories that make a lot more money if you're into money. But really, and this is another thing I hate hearing a lot too, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this one for sure, is when someone says it's not about the money, it's about the product. But obviously it's about the product, right? It's obviously about your music. It's obviously about your business. It's obviously that. But you got to take care of yourself. I don't know if anyone struggles with that one as well, but it's definitely a big struggle. However, I would say don't spend your money, your life away basically, on something that is going to harm you. I would say that. Do not do that. Do not spend your money on things that will not get you further also in your career. That is also another thing I've learned, not because I have done it, but because seeing it, basically. I see it a lot of times. And now a lot more things come in that say, like, hey, I can give you more followers or this and that. Now be careful who is promoting that to you, because if you're not good at marketing but you're good with the business, okay, or marketing, socializing, engagement, or networking, or whatever how you want to call all this stuff, and you want to do the call to action, if you're not really good at that stuff, then your music is great, but that stuff is not great. I mean, you got to have both. And unfortunately, you're like the credits, right, rolling through when you're trying to build something like this that's so great. So it's one of the things I want to talk about. It's definitely is something that I wanted to see what everyone's thinking at the same time as for me. Is time is your biggest fact? Is income is your fact? Or maybe even add on to this, or is it the skill level you need to be at? For sure, if you need help and everything, always reach out and ask for help if I can help you. Or I might actually direct you to some mentors I talk to. Not really personally, but I actually talk to like with teams and everything. And it's great to go into groups. It's great to try to figure out who can be with you along with your journey. So far, my one of my biggest mentors right now is Adam Ivy. Shout out to him for helping me out and actually just jumpstart for me to get into my music. My music journey, basically. I started in May, and I just really try to push really hard. But right now, time is really strenuous. It's on, a lot of it is on me on this, and it really, I would say this: don't have so much going on, really. If you can possibly, that's one big thing I have learned. Don't have so many things going on with the house, with the kids, with if you're in college as well. I'm almost done with college. I just want to be done with it, though, because 5 years ago I felt like my music was not going to go anywhere because I don't have time for it. So that is the reason why I went into college, but also was a really good reason because I want to get into gaming, game development. But it's a software engineer degree. But there's a lot of experience you need to put into it in order to get into any of these gaming studios. That is for sure. So it really made me fall back a little bit. I've been in this factory work life for 8 years, so I got really burnt out, and also my health was going downward. Ever since I quit, though, I lost almost 70 pounds. I've been focusing on myself and my family. I've been working on education for my kids. I also now, with my music, I also pushed on this. I've been always like, I gotta do this, I want to do this, I gotta do this, I want to do this. And finally I'm doing it. I finally want to do this and really try to push for it. Now I know that there's things I fail at, of course. Like, for example, I like for Instagram, TikTok, and all that stuff. Right now I'm not really consistent. I know that's another thing too. You got to be really consistent on a lot of these things, and I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to work on my scheduling. Also, I'm trying to work on how I can do this really well strategically in a way that I can actually get all this stuff done without being such a perfectionist as well. That's really hard for me, actually. I really like my stuff, and I really like it to sound the way I want to as well. And a lot of times, if I'm not done with it, I won't be done with it until I really feel like, okay, I have to be done with it. And that time, sometimes that can take a while. So I definitely would shout out to Adam Ivy for his group. We're talking about selling the music masterclass. If you're really not a really social media savage, I would definitely connect with him and his team. It might cost money, but like I said, you're investing in your business. And if it's not time is right, don't do it. I learned about that stuff a lot with a lot of things because I have too many fires going on right now. So definitely don't do it if you don't have the money to do it. But I would say try to save up as much as you can. And I would say any business, there's a pocket and a side about, I would say, a couple grand at least, or maybe 5,000 if you can. But times can be really hard, and if you don't have the money right now, definitely figure out ways to help yourself to move forward in your music. And it can be not that expensive, really. I mean, you can be selling beats on Fiverr. I can put down a link down below. There was a video out about selling beats, 57 ways of selling beats. I can put that down below if I remember to do that. Unless if I don't, definitely shout out to me if you want to see that video for sure. Or look up ways to make money as a musician. And there should be a video that pops up that way. So I'll try to remember to put that down below. Other than that, that's my question to you guys. It's like, how do you guys feel about your business, about income and time? Because time is money, and money takes time sometimes. So what's your thoughts? FM213 off screen here, behind the scenes. Thank you for watching.